probably need that. Yeah, maybe. Oh, you gotta re-download? Fine. Make it take forever. Oh, goodness. It's gonna take forever to load now. Okay, there it goes. My goodness. Get yourself together. Okay. And we're ready. A whatever raid. Thank you for the raid over there on Twitch. Hi, Raina. Hi, Michael. Hello over there on the tubes. Hi on the Twitch. Welcome in on TikTok. Let's start getting all the good things going. We got doing a throwback. All you wanted was somebody who cared. If you need me, you know I'll be there. Oh, 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 yeah. Guys, make sure we're doing the good things. Let's boop that screen, please. Get those likes up. Do your daily heart me if you haven't. Good morning, good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. I appreciate you guys being here on this Thursday, which this Thursday is my Friday. So we have to do all of the supporting that we can because I will not be here tomorrow. As far as I know, I'm not sure exactly who, but either Blue or Mia will be taking my time slot, and I will post about that in my announcements tomorrow. It also, if you are part of my Discord, as you know, the Notify Me bot notifies you when they go live anyway, because we support in this community. So it will let you know when that happens. So I was just trying to look up. Jesus Christ, that song came out in 2001. Woo!
What?
The song came out in 2001. I was just curious. I just wanted to look. Whew. Yeah, it was released in 2001. That's crazy. All right. I'm focused. I promise. Tap the screen, share the live, do your daily heart me if you have not done so. In sharing the live, you can repost it, you can add it to your story, you can share it to 5 of your friends. Eli, I know. We have my little roses goal. Let's try to get that accomplished to push that out. I also have my gift gallery. Let's try to complete that while we're here, especially because this is my last day of the week, guys. Please remember that. I would appreciate it if you're over there watching on YouTube. Guys, you can hit that thumbs up button for me. It really does help push us onto the algorithm. And Twitch, hi, hello over there. Guys, remember you can follow, you can subscribe. There are stickers over there. If you're over there, it's awesome. I would appreciate if you did that. I have my 100 goal that I have every single day, guys. This is my job. This is what I do for a living. This is how I pay my bills. And again, remember, I will be off tomorrow, so I'm missing out on a day of work, but that is okay. We're going to go have fun at my kids' field day tomorrow. But W's to Peter, starting off the day strong with 1353. And Peter, thank you for doing the math for me. I really, really appreciate it. You guys usually like to torture me, but thank you for doing the math for me. You said start it strong with 8647. So W to you, Peter. We love that. Maybe Todd Blanche will. Oh no, he already said he's not going to come after people for that. Just James.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We can just be in multiple different states. I'm in Montana. I'm also in Washington State, California. We just don't know where I'm at, y'all.
Todd Blanche is going to be coming. He's calling the police station. That's what's happening. So, yeah, and we will get ourselves started up this morning. I'll turn the phone lines on in just a second. All right, guys?
Yo.
How are you today?
Doing good. Good morning.
Good morning. Did you vote for Trump?
Yep. I
Okay.
voted for Trump.
Can I get your age and state, please?
I'm 32. I'm in California.
Why are you still supporting Trump?
I guess I just support a lot of the things he's done and his philosophy, such as like reducing the federal workforce. I agree with him on the cultural issues.
How's he campaigning for reducing the federal workforce? Oh, the fire. I'm sorry, federal, excuse me. I thought you meant workforce in general. I was like, that's not good. But federal workforce. But yeah, why would you support that though?
I just think like when I look at government spending to GDP and when I look at the size of the government, I just think it's gotten bloated. And I think that the generally speaking, the private sector is just way more important than the public sector. And I think a big public sector has huge diminishing returns for the average person. So I'm happy that he's cut it down to like 60-year lows in terms of the workforce.
Sure, but I would say you have to have some nuance in that, right? Like you have to have there are some departments that definitely could do the same efficiency with less staff, but then you have an increase in things like the DoD and the DoD budget when they have not passed an audit, the last 8 audits, and yet we're increasing that. So like he's not equal on what he's doing. It's very specific things. Cutting things like CFPB, where CFPB was actually bringing in more money than it cost to run it. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, CFPB is mostly an organization that just audits private businesses, where the conservative stance on military is that is one of the core features of the government.
Sure, but that's just cherry picking what you like and don't like when you need the regulation of the banks.
It's not cherry picking, and the banks are over regulated already. We don't need more regulation.
How are they over regulated?
Well, look at the banking industry. Like, I mean, we've seen bank consolidation for decades, where we have less and less banks. We have most small banks are getting absorbed into big banks because of that regulation.
No. What regulation is causing them to do that?
Any regulation that makes it harder to operate a small bank, like if you're a small business owner and you have to follow a huge
Can
rule
you
set
find
and
me
you're
that
getting
regulation?
like banking regulation specifically? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I have to look it up, so let me get on my computer.
Guys, make sure we're doing all the good things as we sit here. I appreciate it. Make sure we get that pink bar going, okay?
Okay, so I mean, we can go down the list, I guess, starting with Dodd-Frank, the Basel Committee,
Let's start
banking
with
supervision.
let's do one at a time because you would have to show me where where that was hurting smaller banks, which then caused bigger banks to absorb them.
Yeah, so anytime you institute consumer compliance or like expanded reporting or like risk management or underwriting rules, whenever you create an increase in the cost of operation, like whenever
No, not
you have.
whenever. Show me an economist, show me a banking industry, show me a report on this that show that because of Dodd-Frank, bigger banks
Well,
absorb
it's not. It's
smaller
not.
banks.
I just want to be clear. It's not just Dodd-Frank. It's when you compile regulation
Sure,
after
but
regulation.
compiling now. So then can you show me an article from an economist that says that because of these banking regulations, big banks started absorbing small banks?
It's not. It's not that. Or the small banks couldn't operate. They couldn't like
Show me that.
actually afford to. Yeah, sure, sure. One sec.
Cool. I feel like we're typing into ChatGPT right now.
I mean, I have to Google it because I don't have it offhand.
No,
But
that's
sure,
fine.
I'll bring the sources. Sure. Yeah, it's what keeps coming up is the FDIC, I guess.
What about it?
There's one called, what is this? Regulatory Changing Community Banks. Wait. FDIC Community Banking Research Program. Community bank efficiency and economies of. One sec. Let me skim this real quick. Yeah, I would say it looks like this community bank efficiency and economies of scale. They go pretty deep into the mechanism of like compliance, technology, blah blah blah, like
What are you reading
cybersecurity.
from?
The FDIC,
FDIC, and what's the title?
community bank efficiency and economies of scale.
Okay. Let's see. And where does this say that regulation is causing big banks to absorb small banks?
I think it's one of the key findings. Like, I mean, you could even just look it up on. There's an AI overview too.
No,
that makes it
absolutely fuck
faster.
not. I want to see it in the source, right? I don't want to see what AI decided
Okay,
was a
let
summary
me
of
pull
something.
it up for you on the source. One sec.
Google AI also sources Reddit and Facebook in some instances.
It does.
So,
Sure. Fair
yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
need Erica's hold music. I'm not saying that facetiously. Like, I don't mind holding for factual information. It's just I need music or something in the meantime.
I think the thing that would showcase it the most clearly is the efficiency ratio. Like they essentially track with regulation how efficient community banks versus non-community banks. There's like a bunch of charts here that I'm going
Sure,
through all the charts,
what
but
page are we on?
there's a bunch of charts on page. What is this? It starts at page like 2 or 3. It's pretty early into the report. I mean, I assume you have the report
The
pulled up, right?
27-page report?
It is 26 pages, yeah.
Wait, I guess it depends on how the PDF opens. Mine is 27. But it's the Community Bank Efficiency and Economics of Scale, Stefan Jayswitz and Paul Kupiec. December 2012.
Yeah, there's a bunch of charts that I'm going through.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I appreciate you being civil, but I would have you go read your claim and then come back. Would probably be a great idea. Actually research your claim before you make it. I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm just saying show me that. And you having to look it up on the fly shows me you made an opinion about something because of ChatGPT and Google AI telling you, and you didn't actually look it up. So that's wild. Anyway, guys, welcome in. That was a way to start the morning. We are at 10:16. Guys, we need to be hitting 25,000 likes before we hit 10:30. So that first 30 minutes. So you guys need to be tapping. We need to be supporting. We need to be doing the good things, okay? I don't want to not see support. I'm already kind of frustrated with y'all. I actually kept it up on my screen, Blue. I'm gonna read it later, after I get off when I have time. But, I'm kind of frustrated with y'all, because I'll usually have like 100 of y'all at least in here when I send you to raid Mia, and yet there's only 12 of us in there with Mia. What happens there? So what I'm gonna start doing, love y'all so much, and yes, I still need your support, but this is part of who I am, this is what you like, the Dommy Mommy that's in me. I'm gonna start looking. I will start looking for you. You think Debate Talk is big? It's small. I will look for you in those comments, and I will find people who I know are steady supporters in here who are not supporting the people having the good conversations. I have conversations with Trump supporters. Yes, my question is, why are you still supporting Trump? It is. You're right. And a lot of the times, actually, I get people who are saying, well, I don't really support him as much as I did, or I only support a couple things, and I'm still pushing back on those. Why? Because they're probably conservative, and I want to know why they think conservative policy is beneficial to them, which is really what we're getting to, right? Which is why I ask about policy. But Mia is doing the hard work of trying to talk to the non-voters or the third-party voters that we need to get into the fold and activate, especially non-voters who are just they're not engaged. Or they don't want to be. We need to get them activated. And she's having those good conversations. And I have 100 fucking people in here that I fucking send. And yet there's only 12 of us. Oh, so you guys run away to watch a man who does it half as good as we do. And half the time doesn't research the shit. Half the time just reads the information from the comments. Half the time steals the fucking shit that we say. And why? Oh, because they yell at Trump supporters. It's so much fun. Anyway, let's get our day started before I fucking lose my fucking mind. All right, so we are going to finish the DOD Iran thing that we did not finish yesterday. So we have some stuff to finish here. Let's do... Okay. Hegseth is being asked... So Congress, again, let me go back. Hegseth is in front of Congress, or was in front of Congress, because he needs money. And he's like, hey, we need our budget. And also, by the way, we want to increase the budget to $1.5 trillion. And Congress has questions for him. Specifically, Senator Coons asks him about the congressionally appropriated funding for Ukraine. Congress approved funding for Ukraine. Whether this administration likes it or not, the money was already allocated. It just needs to get sent. And so Coons is going to ask Hegseth, where the fuck is that money? Why hasn't it been sent yet? Was Sandwich just here? Aww. I know, that's why I try to, Eli, that's why I try to pronounce the S as best I can, because oh my word. So yeah, bye Sandwich. You're still not here. By the way, guys, if you would like to mute somebody in the chat, you can do so.
Do you want someone muted in the chat? Is there someone who's spamming, making disingenuous arguments, displaying bot behavior, or maybe they're just a dumb bitch? Well, you can keep them muted and contribute to their degradation kink. But remember, while we don't kink shame, it is perfectly acceptable to kink ask why. You can keep them muted for as little as $2 a day, $7 a week, or $25 a month. Pay links in the bio.
Music behind it. Look. Oh my god. Recognize my face. Why are you acting like this? Oh, you messed it. Now I gotta do math. So hold on, wait. Let me do the math on this trademark. I can do it, I swear. Okay. Okay. W's to trademark for the 2647 in two separate, the math got you just like it got me, W trademark, for your Antifa dues, and because Dommy Mommy said so, and also, damn it, I messed up the change in the first one. So thank you so much for the 2647. That brings us down to 60 for our day today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. W's to trademark. They are always here and always supporting, and that we appreciate. You know, sometimes you guys need to be yelled at a little bit, and that is okay. We can absolutely do that. I don't have any problem doing that. Okay, we got a couple people in the box. We might not get to our outline today, and that's okay. Maybe they're in the mood to talk today. Also, W's to Matt for the $5. Thank you so much. Keep up the I count down. Maddie McHugh, I count down. W's to Matt for the 5 for keep up the great work. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. That brings us down to 35 left. Or no, sorry, 60. Why did I put 40? It brings us down to 55 in our goal. Yeah, you're right. I can't math. We know this about me. I thought we knew this about me. I can't math. Okay. Thanks. Oh my God. Hi, Chess. How are you today?
Great, Brett. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Did you vote for Trump?
Of course.
Okay. Can I get your age and what state you voted in?
Yeah, Florida, 22.
All right. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Well, I believe it's important for anyone to support whoever's in office. So even if it were like someone I didn't vote for, I would still support them.
What if their policies were harmful to the American people? Like, what if, I'm not comparing Trump to him, I'm just saying, what if Hitler was our president or Putin was our president? You would still support them?
Well, you know, slaying people is a little different. Trump's not doing that, but
I specifically said, Chess, I'm not comparing him. I'm comparing the situation that
no, if those two were, I would not, but they slayed people.
Cool.
So
then we don't support the president just because they are the president. So what about Trump specifically do you support?
Yeah, sorry, barring slaying innocent people, yeah. You should support the president.
Why?
Well, you know, I believe keeping America the world superpower is vital. And I think the key to that is supporting capitalism. Obviously, Trump pushes for capitalism more than any of the other people who were candidates, especially the delusional Kamala Harris.
Okay, hey, sweetie, it's 2026. He won. We're there. So what is he doing to support capitalism? Because actually what I've seen is him doing and taking government, taking out stock and ownership of companies. That's socialism.
Well, don't you think making elites richer benefits capitalism?
Yeah, how does that benefit
that's the whole point.
People?
That's the whole, well, it's the whole point. You get rich, you get richer.
How does it benefit the people?
It doesn't benefit every single person, but the rich who capitalism promotes getting richer. So one day when I'm, the top 1%.
One day. Then do you happen to have inheritance coming to you after somebody passes away? Do you have capital away somewhere?
Yeah, but not that much.
How much?
Yeah, not that much.
Around.
I'll
What's the
probably
number?
probably just like a couple million.
You have a couple million coming to you?
Yeah,
Uh-huh. From who?
my parents are
Oh.
my parents.
Oh, so your parents worked hard and you're just going to reap the benefit of that like Elon
Well, I work
Musk.
hard too.
Oh, do you? What do you do for a living?
Right now I'm just a tech at the hospital, but I'm in college, so it's just
Oh.
my part-time job.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
A tech doing
Uh,
what?
Depends on the day. Different modalities like CT,
Mhm.
MRI.
Who's paying for your college?
I have a partial academic scholarship,
Mhm.
and then my parents pay for the other.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so you got which is great. Good for you. I hope you do great
Thank
in
you. I
college and I hope
appreciate
you
that.
get your
Thank
degree.
you.
But you absolutely
USF.
got
Not sure if you've heard of it.
you got a handshake through the door. Your parents are lifting you up through that door, whereas most Americans don't have that, right? Like Elon Musk's daddy owned
Well,
an
I mean, I
emerald mine.
had to get the grades to get into the school.
Sure, for the scholarship, not for the also the subsidies your parents paying. I'm not talking about your scholarship. That was all you. I'm talking about
Thank you. I
great,
appreciate
that's
that.
sure, and that's a donor
Did
money.
you not
most
have a
likely.
scholarship?
I didn't choose to go to college. I
Oh,
made the
okay.
choice not to. I absolutely could have. I had applied for scholarships that I had
Can I
could
ask
have
you a question
attained,
then?
but no, I didn't. What?
Can I ask you a question? How old are you?
I'm 35.
Okay.
Okay.
That's crazy. You look closer to my age. I'm curious. So how did you, like, you don't have a political science degree, like you?
No.
Okay. So how did you get your education then, or?
I do a lot of research. I read a lot of things.
Interesting. Okay.
You don't need a degree in poli-sci in order to have a conversation.
No, I agree.
No,
I don't-
yeah, but I mean, I don't mind. Like, some people do
No,
have
I would
poli-sci
just
degrees
imagine-
and don't, understand what
Yeah,
you're talking about. So.
from what I've heard, she sounds well versed. So I was curious.
Because she's
I wasn't trying to be.
intelligent, but
I was
the
not
thing-
trying to be
No,
rude,
it's like-
Olive.
And
Wasn't trying to be rude.
and I'm honest about things that I don't know about too. Like that's why half the time when I ask for sources, I'm like, okay, maybe they have something I've never seen before. I would.
Wait,
love to
are
see
you
that.
are you in a blue state?
By technicality, yes. I'm in
What do you
Colorado.
mean by technicality? Oh,
Well, because there's a lot of
yikes.
red. There's a lot of red in Colorado.
Yeah,
but
that's not a blue state.
for
but-
the electoral college. We are blue.
The
Interesting.
thing I was trying to get at, though, is the fact that not everyone has opportunities for scholarships. Not everyone has the opportunity to apply for.
I think they
scholarships.
do. I think they do.
They don't, though.
How?
There's so many. There's so many scholarships out there
But not everyone
and
has
grants.
the-
Like people just talk about scholarships, but there's also
Sure.
grants. A
No.
lot of people don't talk about grants,
But
which
yes, but
they
not
they
everybody.
hand out money,
No, but and
especially
that's-
for minorities. They just hand out money.
And guess who's
That's not
cutting
true.
those grants?
What Department of Education?
Yeah, the Trump
Yes, Linda-
administration. They are cutting funding for those grants.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't believe in everything the Trump administration is doing.
But then that's not
Uh,
promoting capitalism because he's not
i.e.
giving everybody an opportunity
Well,
to become
No, no.
rich.
I argue it would
How?
fight capitalism because the argument is get it on your own merit. It wouldn't be receive handouts from
No, The grants
the
you
Department of Education.
Oh, okay, so now you're against the grants.
No, they benefit me, obviously. But
Oh.
if you could say like get into these schools on your own merit without grants and scholarships, that's more impressive.
No, that's the
So-
payment though. You getting into the college is separate on your merits of the grant. The grant pays for you already getting in.
Without needing the scholarships and your parents just pay for it, that's called privilege. Again, not everyone gets opportunities. I was lucky enough that my dad served 20 plus years in the Navy and I had 2 years of the GI Bill. That doesn't mean, that I would have gone to college regardless, even if I got if I didn't get the scholarship or not. But if it wasn't for my dad's position, I was able to get my degrees.
So
Not everyone has that opportunity. Not every school can provide scholarships or grants. Not everyone is applicable for grants.
Like if you were not, I guess your grades weren't good enough to get an academic scholarship, would your parents have paid for the whole way?
Yeah, they would.
Right. Not everybody has that opportunity.
My parents wouldn't have.
Well, my parents would not have
That's
been
not
able
my
to.
fault, though.
It's not your fault, but what it is then you are advocating that everybody can do what you did when they don't have the leg up you did from your parents. That's privilege.
I could have done it without them, though, is what I'm saying.
How do you know? We will never know that.
Are you planning to stop at a bachelor's degree? Or are you going to go higher than where you're sitting at?
So then maybe you should actually take your academic scholarship. That's great because that was all you. Use that, and actually, what you could do is tell your parents not to subsidize the rest, and you can pay for it.
Yeah, at this
I
point,
might try that. I might try
I
that.
think you should.
If you could do
Are
it on
you
your own.
Are you anti-education then, since you didn't?
No, absolutely not. I'm pro-education because I don't want to see this administration take away the grants from people who
Do you know who
have by
Brett
the
Cooper
merits.
is? Do you know who Brett Cooper is?
No,
Sound just like her.
an American commentator and actress. No, I've never seen her before.
She's conservative, but
Mm.
That makes sense. So again, you voted for the administration that talks
Daily
about
Wire.
again.
Sure, but you're pro-capitalism. They're not giving out grants to people to be able to go to college, which would contribute to capitalism, to have money flowing. I promise you, the problem is with capitalism is this idea that we've sold to the people that everybody is going to be Elon
So
Musk.
do you
and
support
that's not true.
handouts for everybody then?
No, I just think that everybody should have access to education. They
should
pay
be
for
free.
that.
It should be free.
It's not free, right? The word free, when I use
So
it,
taxed, whatever,
I use
taxed,
universal.
whatever.
Yes, tax, because we pay for that already.
So you think people who will not value it or use it wisely should just have free education?
How do you know they're not going to value it or use it wisely?
Well, just statistically, there's going to be some that don't value it, correct?
Oh, so you take away from the majority who will utilize it correctly because of the sum.
Who's to say it'll be the majority?
Because studies say the majority of people who choose to go to college do it beneficially.
Which study says this?
Sure.
Let me look it
Let's
up.
look at that. How are we looking at this specifically? What do we want to look up specifically in way of this?
Well, you said the majority of people, if education was free, the majority would use it to benefit them and not take advantage.
What does taking advantage mean?
Use it just to get into this the school, whatever,
And then what?
and then not get a degree.
Oh, they dropped out. What does that have to do
Sure,
with it?
yeah.
Okay, yeah. And
It'd be a waste
so-
of tax dollars then. The idea is paying for it so that the person can succeed and get the degree. But if they drop out, then that's
Sure, but maybe they needed to use that to go to a different university. Like maybe instead of going to a Big 10 or they don't go to a big university, they go back to a community college instead, right? Then it would still be worth it if they just
what
needed
if they don't go to
separate
any
classes.
though? Is what I'm saying.
Again, that I don't see where that would be a majority of people.
But if someone you're gonna ask the taxpayer what they're doing, they're not gonna say yes. You can have my tax money so they can attempt to go. They want to do it so that they can successfully go the entire time, the whole way, get the certification, whatever. But if you're gonna say, oh, they go a couple semesters, they try it, they don't like it, that's not good
Let's
enough.
see. As of 2026, about 41 to 42%.
Unless you're gonna give me my money back if they drop out.
As of 2026, about 41 to 42% of adults ages 25 to 60, you already do pay for college with grants. 25 to 64 on average across
Partially paid.
OECD countries, these are countries that have universal education, have earned a tertiary degree, with the rate rising to nearly 50% for younger adults in some nations. Canada leads with 63% of adults holding a degree, while over 50% of adults in the US and several other nations have achieved this. So already, even though we don't have universal education, we have over 50% of our adults who receive a
And we
degree.
never will, to be honest.
Why not?
Because people are not going to be, just we'll never have universal health care. It's not going to be.
Oh, why? Because the people you vote for.
Mm-hmm. Again,
You think the Democrats are going to put that in?
Yes,
You
they have
vote-
proposed it. Yes.
They'll never vote for that.
They put it in. Republicans shoot it down.
What, Bernie Sanders voted for this?
It was
Put
Bernie's
this in?
universal health care. That's Bernie Sanders' plan.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what? Bernie's never going to win anything. He's too radical.
He's not too radical. That's silly. Do you know that you already pay for people's health insurance? Do you know that?
How so?
It comes out of your check. You already pay for that. So, or your
It
insurance.
comes out
do
of
you
my
have
check.
Do you have insurance that you pay with your check from your job?
No.
Oh, you're 22.
I'm still
Are you
my
on your
pa-
parents' insurance?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes,
their
yeah.
insurance, since you don't pay it, I guess your parents do. We're back to the
Whoa,
privilege.
what's with the eye roll for?
Because the privilege is astounding to me, but you don't want opportunities for other people who don't have the same privilege as you. So your parents, do your parents still work?
My dad, not my mom.
Okay, and your dad receives insurance from his job?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he does or if he just does like out of pocket. Like,
Sure, but even then, out of pocket, you're paying for
I think he does. Actually, yeah. I think as of like 2 years ago, they did switch. He does put us all under his work insurance.
Okay. So when he's paying every month, he has to pay every single month for his insurance out of his check. That's not going to some pot that's specifically for Chess's dad and family. That's not what's happening. It is just money. It's like when you put money into a bank. It's not just going into your account. It gets spread around. So it gets used for people who don't have insurance already. It's already doing that, and we're paying more. Why? Because the insurance companies cut out the middleman, get rid of the insurance companies, and do direct deals with the hospitals, with the government.
So, are you okay with like immigrants flooding our ERs and overflowing our
What does that have to do with anything?
hospitals? I'm just curious.
They're not, but also the law, which was passed under Reagan for EMTALA, is that we provide them emergency care, because that would be silly if somebody came in missing a whole arm, bleeding
That's
out
not
of their
true.
socket.
That's not true.
What do you mean?
Well, because like I said, I work in a hospital. I've
Uh-huh.
had people come in,
Uh-huh.
and we can now reject them based on their insurance.
No, off of their insurance. The emergency room. If somebody comes in missing a fucking arm and it's spewing blood, you cannot sit there and stop and say, "Hey, are you an immigrant by chance?" That is against the law.
It should be allowed to ask that, but yeah, we
While
can't,
they're bleeding
unfortunately.
out on the floor,
Don't come to America legally. Then
you don't know the law. What's the law?
don't come illegally. That's the
What's
law.
the law? That's not
Don't
true.
come illegally.
That's not true. Get out of medical tech. You don't deserve to be there. I'm going to use what Daryl sent me, but W's to Olive for the $5 because I can. And big W's to Daryl for the $55 for Happy Mini Friday. W, you guys. Holy crap. Yeah, he needs to absolutely fucking not work in a hospital ever. Ever. Soroski, if you did want to come up to clarify something, you absolutely fucking can. You know, I have no problem with that. That's a choice. The privilege is privileging. Please, if you could, bring your parents here one time. I just want to talk to them about what a sniveling little spoiled fucking brat, selfish bitch you are. I would just love to have that conversation.
By the way, complaining about grants and stuff and talking about how grants are beneficial and scholarships when you voted for the administration that is literally cutting all of that access. Also, not to mention how most of it went to the Department of Labor. And what happened a few months ago, the Department of Labor, the head, the secretary, left her position.
Also FICA. Yeah, FICA tax. Yeah. You pay for it already. We're already doing that. He's so radical. Bernie Sanders is so radical. How dare all these other countries. It's so radical that all these other nations have universal health care. It's just wild. You know what? It's really radical because other countries aren't even trying to do our system. Isn't that crazy? It's interesting, huh? Hi, Mia.
Hi, Monty. So I just wanted to or I don't know if you saw my comments, or if you recognized who that was.
No.
He is also okay with white supremacy, so there was no getting through. Yeah, he's totally fine with like white supremacy because he says he can capitalize off of it. So yeah, he's like a baby Joel. So there was no getting through to any of that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so I wouldn't even give it any more time because
I want his parents now. So the next time he comes up, unless it's his daddy on the fucking phone, I don't want to talk to him.
Not his daddy. He's like, Mommy, Daddy, I want to go out tonight with my friend.
Well, did you hear him? He said,
"Can you pay for it?"
He said, "When I am the 1%, bitch, please."
That's when you say shit like that. Those are the people that you just got to be like, nah, we got to write you out the will.
Mm-hmm. You're done.
But just want to let you. I was like, it's not even worth it.
But sometimes it's fun.
I know the logic just wasn't logicking.
At
That's the
all.
one that said slavery and T-shirts were, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bye.
Bye, love you. Okay, and we keep going.
Yo, what up?
How are you?
I'm good. I want to keep talking about that healthcare you guys were talking about.
Cool. Can I get your name, age, or not name? I apologize. I don't need that. Age, state, and who you voted for.
Yeah, 28, Illinois, Trump.
Okay. What about it?
So interesting. Like, your view is you'd rather have the government negotiate your healthcare plans for you, correct?
It's cheaper. Yeah.
Okay, what incentivizes the government to get you the best plan possible?
What do you mean? Their job. Their job does. The fact that they would get voted out if they're not doing their job.
Okay, but again, like, what's incentivizing them? What, that they're gonna like
Their
hold their
job.
feet to the fire to get you a good plan?
That they will lose their job from their constituents if they don't.
Okay, is the government good at efficiency and negotiating deals that are in financial interests of their people?
Depends on the department and the program. We saw that with expanding the cap on insulin. That was actually very good because even though they only capped it and expanded it for Medicare and Medicaid, what it ended up doing is because of the cost, you had companies like Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk come out and lower it down to that cap price too because they knew they weren't going to make any money.
Okay, but here's the thing. They forced the markets in the US to sell insulin at a global price, or they were going to open up the markets to let European insulin companies sell their product in America.
No, we already do that.
Okay. See, wouldn't you agree that what's the word? That opening up the markets, deregularization, allowing more competition will lower the price of that product?
No, because we have not seen that. When you deregulate these companies and you don't have oversight over what they're doing, no. Where have we seen that they lower prices from deregulation?
Well, that's a global standard. If I tariff
Show me
something, it's
that.
going to go up.
Sure. That's what it, and yet it's not.
What do you mean? Now it's a contradiction. So if you think you don't open up global markets, prices won't come down?
We're not opening up global markets. He is tariffing these countries.
Yeah, I
That's not
disagree with
helping.
tariffs. They're inflationary, but you're telling me that I think the best way to reduce the cost of a price for a product is opening up the markets, deregulations, so that there's more competition.
That's great. That's what you think. Show me where deregulation in the pharmaceutical industry has led to lower prices.
With insulin.
That was not deregulation. That was the government capping it for Medicare and Medicaid. That was collective bargaining.
Exactly. But the threat behind that was if you do not agree to these prices, we will open up the markets.
No, that they didn't force. No. Show me where in the bill signed, which that is regulation. The threat in and of itself would be regulation. But show me where, when Biden expanded it, that they threatened private corporations to also do this. Or did they just expand it for Medicare and Medicaid and they knew that, hey, they're going to lose out money on this and so they have to change it?
I'm not saying Biden to this. I'm saying this is what Trump threatened.
That would be regulation. And Trump was the one who capped it initially.
No, regulation is closing off the market, so it's only U.S. companies.
No.
Getting rid of the regulations allows European companies to sell insulin.
That would be one regulation.
Exactly. So European companies not being able to sell insulin in America is because of a regulation.
Right.
If there wasn't a regulation, they could sell it.
Sure, that would be more free market capitalism than what we have going on. Sure. But again, that I don't see where that would lead to lowering the price.
Because if they have more competition,
they're already
they have to lower the price.
They're already here.
So you're saying European companies are already selling insulin in America?
Where does the U.S. get a majority of our insulin from?
That's not the question you have to ask. You have to ask if European insulin companies are allowed to sell their product in the U.S. That's a fair question.
Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, who obviously are because they brought it down to the $35 cap after Biden expanded it for Medicare and Medicaid. Okay.
No, my question is, are European insulin companies allowed to sell insulin in America?
Yes.
Okay. And when is it saying that came into effect?
Let's see. They are. They have to get FDA approval for whatever they're selling. Let's see how long they've been doing this from. They've been doing so for decades. Let's see. I want to see how long, though. That doesn't help me.
I'm saying 1923.
Let's see. Yeah, it says this says over 100 years, but I want to find where this is. This is an article from 2019 from the American Diabetes Association before insulin was discovered in 1921. That's great.
Monty.
Yes.
1923.
It's when they started selling here.
Well,
Yes.
that's a comment.
No, that's literally what I have in front of me.
Oh, so you didn't read the comment, you looked it up?
I'm following along with the conversation, asshole.
Let's see. The new.
Hey, I'm not being mean. I
the
want to make
news-
sure you didn't read the comment.
The news about insulin spread around the world like wildfire. In 1923, Banting and MacLeod received the Nobel Prize in Medicine, which they shared with Best and Collip. Soon after, the medical firm Eli Lilly started large-scale production of insulin. It wasn't long before there was enough insulin to supply the entire North American continent. In the decades to follow, manufacturers developed a variety of slower-acting insulins, the first introduced by Novo Nordisk Pharmaceuticals, Inc. in 1936. So they've been selling here for decades.
So is that an example of capitalism decreasing the price of a medical cost?
No, because
Why not?
because they did not decrease their insulin cost until Donald Trump and Joe Biden capped the insulin and expanded that cap.
So you think Joe Biden and Donald Trump capped European insulin prices?
No, they collectively bargained with Medicare and Medicaid, giving them the majority of the power so that nobody was going to get it from Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk. They brought their prices down because of that.
Wait, so you're saying Joe Biden and Trump negotiated with Medicare and Medicaid the
Yes.
price of insulin?
Yes, they put it into law.
But who's creating and selling the insulin? Medicare and Medicaid?
No, Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk. They're saying you can't sell it for more than that.
In America.
Yes.
Okay. And who decides the price of insulin?
Apparently, it was the federal government in this case.
No, who decides it at the end of the day? The market.
No, apparently the market was the federal government.
Okay. The market decides what something is sold for because the federal government can say you have to sell it for this price.
Sure, they would have just
And-
lost money. That's silly.
They would just sell it somewhere else.
Not in the United States, so they would have lost a lot of money.
And they would have sold it somewhere else for cheaper.
No,
because there's
where's your proof
less
of
consumers.
that? Where's your proof of that? Because what it was a collective bargaining, which is a regulation, and it forced them. Yeah, the market is regulated. It forced them to have to come down on their cost.
Because we both agree that if there's more supply than demand, prices come down.
If there's more supply than demand, prices come down. Yeah, that's true, but you would have to show me where they brought it down because of that.
I'm telling you that it's
I don't care
it's
what
pretty
you're telling me. I
reasonable
care
to
what you can
think.
prove. No, I don't care what you believe or what you think or what you want to think. I care what
Do you
can
want me to
prove.
prove to you
Yes.
that if there's more supply than demand,
I
prices
want you to
come down?
prove. I want you to prove to me that there was so much more supply that brought the price of it down for the private companies and not the collective bargaining done by the federal government.
That's not my claim.
Your
My
original
claim
claim,
is
your
supply
original
and demand
claim,
will-
your original claim, which was if we open it up to the European market, which apparently you didn't know that we already had, it would bring the prices down. Except that they were charging more until Donald Trump and Joe Biden expanded the cap.
No, my original claim when I walked up here is I think you're better off at negotiating your healthcare costs than the U.S. government because they're not incentivized to do so.
But they obviously are, right? Because of their job, and they obviously did, and it obviously worked. It was actually one of the only things.
Okay.
It was one of the only things that Donald Trump kept when he gutted the IRA.
Are you fine with me negotiating your medical costs?
You? No.
Yeah.
Are you
How
a
do you
politician?
not know? How do you know what if I worked for the government? You don't know that.
Are you a politician?
If I said yes, would you be fine with
Are
that?
you working to lower it?
No, I'm working to negotiate your medical costs
To get it
for you.
lower?
Of course, I'd
Oh,
try.
okay. Then cool. Go ahead. Do it.
But whether I get it lower or higher, it doesn't matter. I get paid the same. So at the end of the day, I really don't care.
Then you would lose your job. You would lose your job.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And what incentivizes them to get me your best healthcare possible?
That there would be no insurance company. You would get rid of the insurance company, so you'd be directly bargaining with the with Medicare and Medicaid with the universal health care. Okay?
I want you to say that you would agree that the U.S. government wouldn't care because regardless
No.
whether you get your
I
insurance
know
from
what
the
you
U.S.
want me to
government or
say,
not,
but
you
you
have to
don't.
get
I
it through
promise
me.
you can't afford me. So I'm not just
Your
going to say what you
box
want
to get
me
it from the
say.
government.
I am
You
not
want to
going to
box
say
yourself in.
No, I understand that it actually works better, right? That's why all these other countries do it. Why is no country modeling the way we do it?
The reason why other countries do that is with higher taxation. And
But
I'm
it works.
telling
No,
you,
that's fine. That's the mechanism.
It doesn't
But
work.
It does work because in the long run, they have better healthcare outcomes and better treatment. It does work. Why? The question I asked, why is nobody
we have the best
copying-
treatment in the world.
No, we do not. Why is nobody
Yes.
copying our model? Why is nobody copying our model?
Because they don't have a high enough GDP to do so.
That's silly. No, there are
No,
countries
it's
who have
not.
higher
That's why we have
GDP
the best
than we
doctors
do.
in the world.
There are countries that have higher GDP than we do. Hi, Blue.
Hello.
No, we're able to pay doctors
hey,
more
I
than
said hi
anybody
to my
else
friend,
here.
and he would like to speak. So stop.
Are you triggered?
No, I just don't like
You're just
rudeness.
What's rude about it not agreeing with your logic?
No,
It
I
wasn't
said
about you not
hello to
agreeing.
my friend who is now going to speak, and for some reason you won't shut the fuck up. Okay.
Can you say it a third time?
So you're just a jackass. Okay.
Oh, am I?
Clearly. You're
Can you
proving it right
explain
now.
to me why you want the government that's $32 trillion in debt to negotiate your health care? Still waiting for the argument on that.
Because their incentive for doing so would be a lower cost to them as well as a healthier workforce that could pay into that debt.
Why do they care about lower costs? Do they make more money then?
Because of the people. My God.
No. It's all. You say we live in a capitalistic society. It's not communism.
I'd never
We
said
see
it was
money as
communism.
wealth and power. Okay, so again, incentivization is going to come from cash flow and profit.
No, it can also the problem is you have this weird thing where you give a definition to a word and how it's used. Incentivization can also be that they lose their seat when they're voted on the next time because we have a representative democracy, and if I find out that this particular person representing me is not for that and is actually for keeping insurance companies getting rich, then the incentive is that I vote them the fuck out and they lose their job. And I get
Okay,
somebody
so
else in.
who's going to decide what's a good and what's a bad policy and what's a good rate?
Congress. They already do.
Okay, so you want the same people that are purchasing your healthcare to decide what's considered good or a bad plan?
Sorry, repeat that.
You want the same people that are purchasing your healthcare to decide whether it was a good or a bad negotiation deal.
Yeah, that's fine. It works better.
So you want them to self-check themselves?
In
They
the process,
already
they
do.
should also be required, just like with the ACA, they should be required to be on that healthcare as well.
Right.
Well, they're not really doing a very good job. We're $32 trillion in debt.
We don't have universal health care right now.
So imagine what it would be like if we had that responsibility when we can't even like produce a proper budget.
No, that's because of that's because of conservatives.
Okay, so we agree. What if I grant that it's because of conservatives? You think a conservative leader will never be back in power to just ruin everything?
I never
then?
said that.
Okay,
But
so then
it would be dumb
it
of them.
come-
Actually, it would be really dumb of them because we do know from polling that people actually think healthcare is better in the hands of Democrats. Healthcare, if a Republican would run on universal healthcare, they would be guaranteed to win. Like, people are okay with this. Like, you are on the wrong side of the argument of an argument that's like an 80-20 issue. It's wild.
No, I'm telling you, all it takes is for somebody in power to come in that you don't agree with or doesn't align with this aspect, and it ruins everything. And that's going to continue to happen.
No, it doesn't. How do they ruin everything?
Look, Democrats and Republicans have contributed so much to our debt.
What does the debt have to do with ruining everything? Again, even Donald Trump, who is everything that I don't want in an administration, kept the cap, the collective bargaining aspect of insulin in regards to the Inflation Reduction Act. He gutted the Inflation Reduction Act except for that part. I wonder why. Could it be because it's popular with the people?
Also, Democrats have proven to be better on the economy.
Okay,
proven.
Again, I'm just saying we're 32 trillion in debt.
You're saying a lot, and you're wrong. And yet you also
I'm not saying a lot.
Also yet to
you
concede.
won't address the
you have
issue.
You have also yet to concede on the fact that Europe has been selling us insulin for decades, because you were wrong about that.
Again, I'm going to come back to that same issue you guys want to answer. We're 32 trillion in debt. Why do you want to trust them? It's because you think they're going to do the best for the people. You trust the government that much?
In regards to healthcare, we know that it works. If you pass a universal healthcare law that gives them regulations on how they have to do this, then yes.
Regulations increase the cost of products.
Not necessarily. And again, you never proved to me that deregulation lowered the cost. All you went on was a rant about opening up the market to Europe, which we already do. So you were wrong about that. I'm so sorry to hear that. Goodbye. W's to Ari for the $10 for I can't yeet or give Blue the okay to kick him. I didn't rage quit. You know that thing that you love so much, IG? Capitalism? Capitalism got you. So W's to Audie for that. I also want to say W's to Maureen for the $5. Maureen said a very important message. We need to not allow these people to call the left radical for wanting humans to have health care. They are the radical ones for not wanting that. Absolutely. True. Facts. Period. Mic drop. Maureen. W. Speaking of that, let me get this. I wasn't going to put it on my outline, but let's look at it. Let's see how unpopular it is.
How is the president?
It's our favorite Red Bull, good boy golden retriever, Harry Enton, on healthcare.
In the red. How is the president doing, broadly speaking, on the issue of health care?
Yeah, if we talk about health care, why don't we just look at the highest disapproval ratings for presidents this century? And you can see it right here. The one in red on your screen, Donald Trump, 65% disapprove of him on health care. That is the highest. That is the highest for any president this century. Biden was at 57%. That was his highest. Obama, remember, this was around the Obamacare debate, right? He was at 63%. Trump's actually beating him on this score. It's just a score you don't want to be winning on. And then, of course, Bush, when there was all this talk about privatizing Social Security, he was at 63%. But Donald Trump takes the cake on this issue. 65% disapproval, the highest for any president this century.
I have to say, my major in the red. How?
Ooh, what a thunk.
Oh, what a thought. I have good insurance. I don't want Medicare. Do you? Do you have good insurance? You could have that same insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's saying you have to have Medicare. I think that's what you guys don't understand. It's not that. It is collectively bargaining through the government so that your insurance company cannot charge you higher than what people on Medicare and Medicaid are paying. That's all. It forces them to charge you the same amount. Like, I don't understand why you guys fight against this. It really doesn't make any sense. If you read Bernie Sanders' model specifically, your taxes go up. But in the long run, it's cheaper because you no longer are paying your, oh God, what's the word I'm missing? Every month.
Co-pays,
Your
premiums.
That one. Premium every month. Like.
Yeah, Bernie's model had no co-pays, no premiums, no, I think even medication was paid for.
Cost, yeah. Thank you for calling the stream. You can get your name, or your age, state, and who you voted for. I don't know why I keep doing that.
My name is Alex. I'm 32, Florida, and I didn't vote last election,
Why didn't you
even
vote?
though I should have. I wasn't energized to, and my personal excuse is I was working the polling and elections the day of the election, but I wasn't really energized to.
Okay.
Anyway, I was just calling to give a little anecdote. Maybe some maggots are listening right now. I don't know if you care for that or not,
No, go
but
ahead, go for it. We need a palate
okay.
cleanser. Let's go.
I lived in Israel in 2014 for 1 year. I saw like terrible shit over there, and I'm not a Zionist, but I did the birthright trip and I extended my visa and I worked like on farms and stuff.
Hmm.
And I had to get stitches over there. I got hit in the head by a tractor and I had to get like 8 stitches on my head, and it cost me like $8.
Yeah.
And these people are arguing against the system that they pay for. We all pay for Israel.
Yeah, the only
We
way
pay for their health care.
the way I like to
They have
describe
better
it,
health care than us.
they have universal
They have
health
better
care
healthcare.
and universal
Yes.
education over there. The way
Yes.
I like
Are
to
they
describe
commies?
it
Because
is
they support Israel. Are they
right.
commies? Are they supporting commies?
guess
Or
so.
what?
The way I do
I
like to
guess
frame
so.
it is that per our legislation, technically no US taxpayer dollars go towards their universal health care. However, what we do pay for them in defense subsidies allows them to have extra money to pay for universal health care. But it's not good. It's good enough for them, but it's not good enough for us.
These maggots don't care about logistics. They don't
No.
care.
No,
Like,
that's
they
true.
don't
It's
care
just
about
talking
any of that
points. You're right.
shit. At the end of the day, and I lived over there for a year, and I saw what it's like over there. Everything that they have over there is because of the United States, at least in the modern era.
Right.
And for these people to argue against their own best interests and then defend the war, because I don't know, it's just crazy to me to listen to these people. I honestly don't know the point of debating them anymore. Maybe
Right.
that's another topic we could talk about. And I understand
Yes.
that there's like this whole financial ecosystem online of like debating and online. Like I've been listening to this stuff for years, and I get it. But at the same time, I would not be debating them anymore. I think we're way past that. I don't think there is any
I've been wanting
negotiating
to
with these
switch.
people.
Well, I've been wanting to switch my topic to why are you conservative? The problem is I don't know what picture to put with that because unfortunately they don't like to read if they even can. So you kind of have to have a rage baity picture to be able to get them to focus. And I really would like to examine why they keep voting for conservative policies that are not benefiting them. That is my next step.
There's a lot of people that talk about how the conservative party is dead and it was taken over by MAGA and like they were never conservative. If your party and your ideology can be hijacked by a MAGA cult that easily in such a quick time, I don't think they ever actually believed in anything in the first place. I think it was all a show for decades.
Probably.
They don't actually, because you can't lose your ideology that easily if you actually believe in it.
Well, and I'll tell you what it
there's
is.
this whole argument for the DNC too. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think the DNC, specifically the DNC I'm talking about, are liberals anymore either. They don't really believe in or practice liberalism even anymore.
I agree. Yeah, no.
Okay,
Do you plan to vote for your midterms though?
I'm in Florida.
Yeah, you are. I know.
I don't think my vote really matters at this point. All the terrible people have moved here.
I agree, but it
like
does
all the
though, or
terrible
else
people up
Governor
north, like,
DeSantis. I agree, but or else Governor DeSantis would not be signing an unconstitutional, like Florida Constitution says that he cannot redistrict in this way, and he signed a map exactly to do that. So you absolutely your vote counts, or they would not be trying to take it away from you.
I hear you, and I am going to be voting now after everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
I have to. I've always voted locally more than I have.
No, and that's super important. That directly affects you.
I'd say it's more important.
Yeah.
I and I will vote. I think Florida's too far gone. I mean, I live here and it's not doing great. All these people from New York and all these people from like these northern places that move here, they're all genuinely terrible people, and like the influx has been so bad in the last 4 years that I don't think Florida will be purple for at least another 10 years.
It's
in my
trying to
opinion.
move. It is trying to move. I don't have a lot of hope for the purple of Florida. I'm with you there. I think, but we'll see. But I do appreciate you, and I would just say look into your candidates. It sounds like you're the kind of person who does. So it's not about red versus blue. It's about who's going to be beneficial for the American people and for your people locally. So I do appreciate you. So make sure you are getting out and doing that. Okay. Have a wonderful day.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, Mia and I were crying on the phone Friday about all the redistricting and the Supreme Court, the Virginia Supreme Court taking away the voice of the voters, and my vote being diluted, and my parents being in a different district from me now, even though we're 30 minutes apart. We were talking about how hopeless it felt. Just like everything, we felt like we were going backwards.
Right.
That my dad was in school when desegregation happened, and he lived long enough to see the same rights that were being fought for while he was in school being rolled back. Ruby Bridges is still on this app, or is still live and an activist right now. For those of you who don't know who
ago.
Right. For those of you who don't know who Ruby Bridges is, go look her up. But so we were feeling like hopeless. We felt like there was like, is anything that we're doing even helping? Is anything gonna work? But then we both like separately, but then we came back together collectively, and we were like, we can't stop. Like, we can't give up. If the people, the leaders who fought through, the activists who fought and protested and everything during the civil rights movement said, "Oh, this is hard. We just need to stop," then we wouldn't have made any progress. We wouldn't have gotten to at least to where we are now. So to claim that your vote doesn't matter, even in a red state, if you're a blue dot in a red state, saying that your vote doesn't matter, that there's nothing that you can do, like that's defeatist, that's lazy. Every vote counts. Every voice counts. Go out there, door knock, phone bank, do the things that you need to do to get this ship righted again. Because right now is extremely important that we actually get people running in these districts, especially now that after these redistricting, there's the people that I was going to vote for are no longer in my district, so I have to do some new research.
Yeah, don't give up. It's going to be harder. Yeah, they've won a little ground in their attempt to cheat themselves into keeping power. It's not a guarantee. And there are seats that can still be flipped that weren't redistricted. There is room to move, and we need to keep fighting, and we need to keep doing it. Guys, on that note, that amazing speech that Blue just gave you, can you guys run up my panelist coins, please? You guys have done wonderful with my goal, and I appreciate it. And any additional donations are always greatly appreciated. There's also pay links in the bio of my panelists, especially Blue and Olive sitting right here. So make sure we are supporting them as we're sitting there, guys. I still have my little finger hearts that we need to complete and my gift gallery, and that's what I'm going to ask you to do is run up the panelist gifts, complete my gift gallery, and run up the little gift goals that I put up there for you. Thank you guys so much for the support. It's been quite a morning. It's now 11. Holy crap. They're in a mood today, it seems. So,
and to the non-voters who were like, I couldn't vote for either of them. They're two wings of the same bird, blah blah blah. If those same people in the civil rights movement were like, I can't vote for somebody who's not racist, who are they going to vote for?
Right. There's deconstruction that has to be done. Okay, let's see if we can do this now. Senator Coons is asking Hegseth, where is that money that we appropriated for Ukraine, and why have you not given it out?
for Ukraine. So far, your department has not spent a dime of that $400 million, despite repeated follow-up requests from the chairman and myself. In a call just last week, your staff indicated we will see a spend plan for those funds this week. Will you commit to spending those $400 million for weapons for Ukraine, and when will we receive your department's spend plan?
I appreciate that question. The $400 million for European capacity building has been released from the Secretary of War's office, and we'll work with EUCOM to make sure they spend it accordingly and properly, which we have all faith that they will.
Mr. Secretary, when will this subcommittee get the associated spend plan for the $400 million?
Yeah, I mean, we will work with your committee to make sure that the spend plan as allocated, I want to make sure EUCOM.
No, when? Timeline. When? Because right now you just have it sitting there. When are you going to put it where it's supposed to go as per Congress? Why can they never answer these questions?
Is fully informed in how they want to spend
call him
this. They're
Peter.
the closest to the problem set.
Peter.
And so working with them to ensure that you have the spend
Peter.
plan, we'll work with you.
Mr. Secretary, thank you,
heck
but it's
says Peter?
May, and this has been the law since January, and you or your representatives have been asked
What you? Oh yeah, yeah. He's Secchi. He's the defense Secchi.
this repeatedly
Becky's here.
on a bipartisan
here.
basis
Peter.
by members of this committee, and I think dragging our feet on this small investment in Ukraine's defense sends exactly the wrong signal to Putin at a time when the contest for freedom has its front lines in Ukraine.
Cat, or X, I can't with you. Actually, he's the war Secchi. Thank you for that. Which is important that we get them this funding that's already been allocated, because I don't know if anybody saw or was keeping up on. I know it's kind of been drowned out because of all the other fucking news. But Russia did one of its hardest hits on Ukraine that it has in the last year or so, overnight last night. So really, really not fun. Senator, here's another unfortunate name. Dick Durbin is going to ask Kaine specifically about why would Americans in this Congress, who represent the Americans, want to fund more national defense and military when they're being attacked and you can't even control the strait. How is the control of the strait going, right? Like Donald Trump keeps saying, we have control of it, we have control of it, we have control of it. Well, that doesn't seem to be the case because we can't get fucking tankers through. So we don't have control of it, but you want us more money.
Could you explain to the American people why, with the vast investment we've made in national defense and military, how Iran, after they've been attacked by us, is still capable of stopping the traffic in the Straits of Hormuz?
Well, sure, it's a complex situation out there with a lot of different small boats that are out there and other capabilities. Some of this is on the commercial traffickers. Some of this is on, again, back to the main problem, and that's Iran holding the global economy hostage through the Straits. I would encourage them to think wisely about their next moves and to take the opportunity to open the Straits. They have that choice to make.
They certainly do.
Also, I don't know why we keep pluralizing it. It's just, right now it's just one. They have not advised Hezbollah to close any other ones. So.
I can't remember who. I think it was. I can't remember who it was, but somebody was like the Straits of Hormuz, like this.
As opposed to the gays of Hormuz. We want to make sure that as a gay that we have our own, because the Straits, I don't want to take that. That's, you guys
It's
can
the
have
Straight
that.
to Gay pipeline.
Straight to gay. Incidentally, sometimes they are.
I guess the question in my mind is, as we talk about $1 trillion plus budgets for our military, it appears that a very small budget is holding us hostage in the Straits of Hormuz. Yield, Mr. Chairman.
It's the Strait of Hormuz. Yeah, I can't believe peasants in the Strait of Hormuz. In that same vein, let me find. Sometimes they're in order and sometimes they're not. So this is Kane just said it's complicated. Okay, it's complicated, the situation with the Strait. Peter is going to come on and he's going to say, he basically is going to ask for a pat on the back. I just don't see why we're not getting claps for this. Also, real quick before we do that, huge W's to Chicky, please. Big W's to Chicky for the $50 that she said for tomorrow's goal. Thank you. Since I'm not going to be here, that is half of my goal accomplished because of that, and also because of that. Chicky's in my house. So W's to Chicky, thank you so much. We're halfway to a goal that I'm not even going to be here for tomorrow, so thank you. I appreciate that so much. So here's Hegseth. He's going to ask for pats on the back.
I don't think enough has been stated about the blockade and the power of the blockade and the dilemma that our blockade creates for them. They can't move anything out of Iranian ports, and over, I think it's 65 ships at this point have been turned around or disabled.
But neither can we. Like, it is so dumb, like the blockade of the blockade. Like, what are we doing? We couldn't move anything, or I guess not us, right? Because we don't use it. The other countries' corporations couldn't move anything through the strait because of their blockade, but now we're blockading the blockade so that they can't get out, which even then, this is now behind, because I don't think we'll get to it today, but I have videos. Specifically, Trump I think it was with Hannity, now that he's back from China, and he's saying, well, you know, China said they're not going to send them weapons, but they still are going to buy oil from them. So, like, are you going to start letting them through now? Did you accomplish nothing? Yeah? Oh, okay. Good. Glad to know.
Economic pressure that creates on them greatly outstrips the pressure on us. And we don't use the Strait of Hormuz anywhere near as much as the rest of the world does, or certainly they do. And I think it creates a lot of dynamics for future energy dominance for the United States of America, considering the increased capability that our country has, not to mention opportunities in Venezuela. So we have a range of options, as the chairman and I have discussed extensively, mostly privately, but some in public, to ensure that transit were to continue, should the president or others want us to go in that direction. But ultimately, we control the strait. Because nothing's going in that we don't allow to go in. And trust me, when we look at what Iran's thinking about that, they know they can't break it, and it's very concerning for them. I don't think
he knows what they think. I didn't realize he could see inside their minds. Which then this one just...
I thought that the millennials were the participation trophy generation. Hegseth is like right on the edge of Gen X.
Yeah. No, but they are, like, most of the time it's the older generations. They're like, but he's trying. Like, I don't care. Like, what do you mean? Look, second place is just the first loser. Okay, that's how. I'm not teaching my kids that. I'm just saying for adults. So then this one just made me laugh. This is also about the strait. But Berman on CNN is talking to Representative Mark Alford. He's part of the Appropriations Committee. He is a Republican. And he's going to say, we have control of the strait. And Berman's like, okay, but, like, there's no vessels coming in or out that, like, are on our side. Like, if we control who comes in or out, why aren't they coming out? Oh, well, there's a reason.
Don't take our full regimen. If we don't do this now, I don't want to think about what the future holds.
How long is that full regiment, though? When you take antibiotics, you get, 30, 5 a day for 6 days. Is this going to be 5 a day for 4 more months? Because how much longer is it going to cost you $100 to fill up your Ford Expedition?
Look, I don't have a crystal ball in this. I do know that we do have control over the Straits of Hormuz right now. Things have improved somewhat. I know
it's one strait. Please stop pluralizing it. It's just
we have control over all the straits.
All the straits. We control all the straits. Ugh.
I'm sorry, Congressman. If we have control, how come there aren't vessels going in and out of the Strait of Hormuz right now?
Because there's still some safety issues, and Saudi Arabia and other countries did not want us to provide those services where we're escorting tankers through.
Because Iran is still bombing the fucking vessels? Could it be that? So do we control the strait? then? Do we control it if there's safety issues? Do we actually control it?
Right. We have control, but there's still like Iran, like, kind of controlling it. But we got control though.
We got control. But also, I mean, like, yeah, there's some safety issues, but like we control it, obviously.
This has become very complicated because
That would be like that'd be like going to school. You got a bully at school, right? He's an asshole. He sucks. And you come in and you're like, psh, he doesn't mean anything to me. I've got him. I can go down that hallway now. I know he used to fucking give me wedgies, but I'll go down that hallway now. And they're like, yeah, why don't you go down that hallway? They're like, well, yeah, but he is standing there. I mean, we don't need to cause a problem. Like, he is just standing there. But like, I'm better than him now. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Middle East countries, Saudi Arabia and others, they want Iran to be dealt with, but they also know that this is a delicate situation. And so I think they are coordinating with the United States of America in this plan to fully open the Straits of Hormuz, to fully get oil flowing through that area so that we can live in peace with Iran and whatever regime ends up happening there.
Oh, that's what's gonna happen. This has nothing to do with what the fuck we are talking about, but my back hurts, you said. The Democrats didn't release the Epstein files because there's a whole bunch of Democrats in the files. You know what? Maybe at the time, you're right. The issue I have with that is my back hurts. If you're keeping up with this, did you know who are just held what would be called a shadow meeting to sit and listen to the survivors who this administration's DOJ has refused to meet with? Do you know which side that was, by chance? You know who sat down with them? Because Todd Blanche said we're moving on. Pam Bondi said we're moving on without ever having talked to those survivors. Did you know that?
It was the libertarians.
It was the libertarians. I do love when they get together. I don't, because they're really bad about age of consent. It's a problem with libertarians.
That's an issue.
It was Democrats. They held a shadow meeting testimony in Florida with the survivors. So did I know that Trump was a Democrat when he was friends with Epstein? Absolutely, because to me, my back hurts. It has nothing to do with political party. It is about who is doing it. Now, right now, it's easier to say the Democrats are the ones who are pushing for it right now because that's just the factually based information. There were only a few Republicans that were on the side of releasing this information that they had to go around Mike Johnson refusing to bring up the vote. But it has absolutely nothing to do with Democratic or Republican Party for me. I would like people who harm children and women to be investigated and convicted. That would be lovely. I would love to see that. Keep supporting all the fraud, you dumb broad. I do love that you're a poet and you didn't know it. What fraud? I love the pivot, by the way, that you did of yourself. Okay. Let's see. Nope, did I do that one? No. So here's Senator Coons again with Pete Hegseth and talking about the fact that the president has come out and said, right, we never asked for and never received anything from our NATO allies. This narrative that NATO never did anything for us, when we all know, if you're a millennial, at least you know that's not fucking true. If you know the facts of Article 5, guess what? Pete Hegseth, was there. So he's going to ask him, was that your experience? Did you experience that they didn't do anything? And remember, NATO is for defense. What we did with Iran was offensive. So of course they were like, absolutely the fuck not. We're not getting involved in this. And especially because they helped us in Iraq too, which was based off of a lie.
Becoming a burden with political limitations. I'm not talking about the troops.
Thank you. Our president said in Europe that we never asked for and never received anything from our NATO allies. Was that your experience in Afghanistan, serving and fighting alongside our NATO allies?
I've written extensively about that, and the vast majority of my experience was frustration with the limits of what those troops were able to do because of the political caveats, rules of engagement, and limits that came from their...
He's really obsessed with this rules of engagement, which is just like, don't commit war crimes.
Yeah, he really did not like rules of engagement. He had that whole speech where he was saying we're going to do away with these limiting rules of engagement.
Mm-hmm. He really hates this whole you can't just start burning villages with women and children in them thing that we, really made sure that we weren't going to do after World War II and Vietnam and all these horrible things that we did. He really doesn't like that.
But you don't doubt or question that about a third of all the combat casualties in our war in Afghanistan were our NATO partners and allies.
I would have to go back and check that number, but I take your word for it.
Let me just assert that hundreds and hundreds of service members from, as you put it, Australia and the United Kingdom, as well as many other of our allies, served, fought, and died alongside us. So I'm just going to simply say, in terms of our reliance on our partnerships, I'll agree with the chairman that at a moment when Russia and China, North Korea and Iran are coming closer together and delivering a bedeviling lethality in this ongoing war in Iran, for which we don't have a clear strategy or clear answers, our better strategy would be to partner more closely with Ukraine, dig in deeper with our real values-based allies, our treaty allies in the Western Pacific and in Europe, and together find a path out of this, rather than berating them and bullying them for not coming along in a war they were not consulted about or briefed on before it began. I look forward to...
Right. You could have at least briefed them. We didn't even do that. Everybody woke up and found out what the fuck happened. Nobody knew. Besides, I guess, Israel and us. And our government.
Right.
So then we go back to Dick Durbin, and he's going to ask Hegseth, Donald Trump has come out multiple times, and he has said that we've won the war, and yet here you are asking for more money for it. Here we are still over there. The strait's not open. We're still bombing. What the fuck gives, my guy? Did we win or nah? Of course, Pete Hegseth's going to answer that.
General Kane, the president has claimed on several occasions over the past couple of months that the war is over, that the conflict has been concluded. What were the goals of the U.S. conflict in Iran, and have we achieved them?
Well, sir, I'm going to be mindful of my need to maintain trust with a variety of stakeholders in the job that I'm in, which includes you, the American people, the Joint Force, and the President. And to that point, only our political and civilian leaders set the national military objectives. Our military objectives have been clear the whole time around targeting Iran's ballistic missile systems, preventing them from threatening U.S. forces in the region, destroying the Iranian Navy, degrading its capacity and capability, and ensuring that they can't rebuild by focusing on their defense industrial base. I'll defer to the Secretary and the President on other strategic
So sorry, not Hegseth. Kane. I apologize.
objectives, but that's what we've been focused on, sir.
That's just him covering his ass. Because he's worked his whole career to become the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And unfortunately, it's under this idiotic president. It's wild. But we get Senator Shaheen, who goes after Hegseth for this. And specifically, I want you to hear what Hegseth says about the destruction of Iran because, SpaghettiOs, don't know if anybody has seen the article, but I'll show you right after this.
A number of members of Congress have expressed our concern that Iran is receiving intelligence support from Russia to target our service members, even as we loosen sanctions on the Kremlin. Russia is making $4 billion from oil sanctions relief because we've loosened those sanctions. As has been testified to, an Iranian Shahed drone costs about $35,000. That's enough money for hundreds of thousands of drones supporting Russia's war in Ukraine and billions for Iran to reconstitute its industrial base. So if one of the goals that's been... Jonathan, or he could have just been the art of the deal guy that he said he was, and he could have just negotiated a deal, or even better, he could have been in the prospects of renegotiating the JCPOA, which wasn't going to end until December of 2025. He could have not pulled us out of the JCPOA in the first place. He could have just done that, right? outlined by the president as part of this war is to destroy Iran's defense industrial base. Don't you think we ought to be putting more pressure on Russia and putting those sanctions back on those Russian oil ships? So
remember, we have paused the sanctions that we have on Iranian oil. So they are now, whatever oil they're able to get, they get. And they're making money on that, as I said, around like $14 billion. And yet they're also helping Iran. So we're just like allowing them a free pathway to be able to help themselves, to help the country that we're fighting. You said, do you think they have all the facts? Do you think you have all the facts? No, Loki, I would never say that. That's silly.
that they are not.
Why would I ever say that? Thank you for calling the stream. Can you get your age, state, and who you voted for? Hello, can I get your age, state, and who you voted for? No? Okay.
Not continuing to fund Iran in this war?
Senator, we know Russia is a nefarious actor on a lot of levels and account for that, but I would say the destruction of
Well,
Iran's defense
but all-
industrial base has been highly
All
effective
evidence to
in
the
this effort.
contrary. We're not accounting for.
Do I know who the chameleons are? But welcome in, Chameleon Raid. Chameleon
Brett.
Raid. Who? Oh, is it Brett? So welcome in, Chameleon Raiders. I appreciate you guys so much. Welcome in. We are going over near the end of some of Hegseth's testimony in front of Congress because he is requesting an increase in the DoD budget to $1.5 trillion and yet refuses to answer questions to the people who would appropriate that money about what the cost of the current war has been, what the cost of bringing our munitions back to what they need to be for our defense is. And right now, we're talking about the fact that the rhetoric surrounding the war has been, we won, we won, we won, except also, I need more money. And yeah, trillion, Christina. $1.5 trillion is what they want to increase the DoD budget to. The rhetoric has been, we won, but we're not seeing that, or else why the fuck are we still over there if we've won? Also, as you guys come in, so again, welcome in, Chameleon Brett Writers. I appreciate you guys. We just hit over 100,000 likes. Thank you guys so much for tapping, doing all those good things. I appreciate it so fucking much. Thank you. Thank you for calling the stream. Can I get your age, state, and who you voted for? You realize I will just block your number. Okay. Oh, you hung up yourself. Okay. I'll still just block your number. How about that? Does that sound good? Okay. Glad we know that. Yikes. All right. So let's get back to Shaheen getting Hegseth on that.
That if we're giving Russia the opportunity to earn $4 billion a month, $20 billion by the end of the year, if we leave those sanctions lifted for that time,
Saying that
during which they can continue to fund Iran.
Well, the destruction of defense
continue
of
to
Iran's
provide
defense
oil
industrial
to
base
China.
has been clear and overwhelming.
So Hegseth just said the destruction of Iran's base has been objectively effective. We have seen it all over the place. Hold on to that.
The destruction of Iran's defense industrial base has been clear and overwhelming.
Well, it's certainly not clear to me as a member of the committee because what we see is Iran still producing drones. They're still engaged in this conflict. We have not won this war
There's a
despite
difference between
the rhetoric.
pulling a drone out of a cave that's been collapsed and producing more drones. That's a different thing.
Well, maybe so, but if Iran still has almost 50% of their missile capacity and the ability to pull drones out of caves and still injure our allies and U.S. service members, then we have not won the war.
She eats him up on that. But it's been destroyed. We've been doing a good job, have we? Okay, let's see if I can get this article to pull up today without being a pain in the ass for me. Looks like it. Sometimes the New York Times is good. It depends on the article. It's like some of the articles are like, yeah, we do want this out here. Okay. U.S. intelligence shows Iran retains substantial missile capabilities. Uh-oh! I thought we destroyed them! Uh-oh. Secret new assessments say Iran has operational access to 30 of its 33 missile sites along the Strait of Hormuz, suggesting that its military remains far stronger than President Trump has asserted. John, I'm not explaining why we would need to continue. We could do a deal. Just do a fucking deal. You know how they were trying to do a deal with us before Israel decided to bomb them? Just fucking do that. Maybe just do that. The Trump administration's public portrayal of a shattered Iranian military is sharply at odds with what U.S. intelligence agencies are telling policymakers behind closed doors. According to classified assessments from early this month that show Iran has regained access to most of its missile sites, launchers, and underground facilities. Why is there no Oxford comma? You're bugging me. Most alarming to some senior officials is evidence that Iran has restored operational access to 30 of the 33 missile sites it maintains along the Strait of Hormuz, which could threaten American warships and oil tankers transiting the narrow waterway. But again, we control the strait. Totally. We totally control the strait. People with knowledge of the assessments said they show, to varying degrees depending on the level of damage incurred at the different sites, that the Iranians can use mobile launchers that are inside the sites to move missiles to other locations. In some cases, they can launch missiles directly from launch pads that are part of the facilities. Only 3 of the missile sites along the strait remain totally inaccessible, according to the assessments. Iran still fields about 70% of its mobile launchers across the country and has retained roughly 70% of its pre-war missile stockpile, according to the assessments. That stockpile encompasses both ballistic missiles, which can target other nations in the region, and a small supply of cruise missiles, which can be used against shorter-range targets on land or at sea. So, this is going well? I don't see that. Military intelligence agencies have also reported, based on information from multiple collection streams, including satellite imagery and other surveillance technologies, that Iran has regained access to roughly 90% of its underground missile storage and launch facilities nationwide, which are now assessed to be, quote, partially or fully operational, the people with knowledge of the assessments said. The findings undercut months of public assurances from President Trump and Defense Secretary Hegseth, who have told Americans that the Iranian military was decimated and no longer a threat. Yikes. Yikes on bikes. Why did I roll my R when I said Iran? 1, because that's the way to say it, and 2, because it pisses you guys the fuck off. And that just, it does things to me. Inside.
Completely off topic. Completely off topic. Didn't most schools in America offer Spanish classes? Are you required to take a Spanish class in order to graduate high school?
We had to take a language class. We had a choice between French or Spanish.
I'm just asking, like, in general, because... Oh, what?
I just said I took Latin.
It's close to Spanish, sort of. No. My thing is, it makes no sense why they're so upset, because we were taught to roll our R's, like, growing up. Or maybe it's because I'm young.
I know that the people in Iran don't speak Spanish. But I'm sorry that you're...
I'm not saying it.
Yeah, well, and Tombus, you're saying you're a liberal. That's great. I'm sorry your partner's not happy? I don't know.
I don't know if my sentence made sense.
It's fine. It's cringe. It's cringe that I roll my R's. Sorry, get over it.
I bet you also believe feminism is bad for women, Tomba.
It's cringe that you say cringe.
Yeah, also, yeah, rolling your R's is not exclusive to Spanish.
I'm not saying it's exclusive in Spanish. I'm just, never mind. I don't think anyone understands what I'm trying to say, and that's fine.
I don't think Kayla was directing that at you.
Just use your tongue better, Trump supporters.
Pretty much.
I was about to say, have they never rolled their tongues on their partner?
Lord.
No, we know
You
they have.
can't just come up and do that.
Blue's gonna have
I'm
to
at work.
You don't do that shit for free. Also, I guess it might have been me. One of my stims was always just, everywhere I went when I was a kid.
Yeah.
The cheeky clip, yes.
You literally speak Spanish. Okay, great. Good for you. You know that other languages roll their R's, right? Like it's not specifically just Spanish that does that. I also roll my R's when I say certain words. When I say Ari. Ari's name is not Spanish, but that's the right way to say it. You know how I know that? Because she fucking told me.
Yeah, Olive's comment I believe to clarify what she was trying to say was more about the ability to roll your R, not specifically taking Spanish.
Yeah.
¿Você fala portugués?
There you
The
go.
more and more it's
Oh,
the more and more.
Parlez-vous français?
If y'all don't start rolling your R's while you say my name.
Colorado.
That's what's funny is somebody even mentioned last night. Well, we were live with on your panel. They're like, she calls him by his government all the time. Yeah, it's Ray, it's Raymond, but I don't roll my R's when I say Raymond. But when I'm mad at you and stuff, I'll say like Ramon because you're like not hearing me. Then I will roll my R's. So I'll say it in Spanish.
Did you not? I rolled the R in Colorado.
And that's not my name in Spanish. It's Raimundo.
I actually had when we took Spanish in high school, my name was Esperanza.
There's no R in Cook.
Esperanza. There is an R in Cook. Cook.
See, but even that,
Ma'am.
Tombus, you said you roll the R when it's a double R. Is there a double R in Esperanza? No, but you roll the R.
No. Esperanza. I think it's a little tilt on. I don't remember the name of the tilt on the end.
The ñ.
Yeah, that thing.
You can say Kenya. If you can say Kenya, you can say coño.
My God. But also it triggers the liberals too, so I'm going to keep saying it that way. But we're going to keep triggering MAGA a little bit more here by ending off this Iran segment with Obama talking about how his deal with Iran kept Iran from getting a nuclear weapon with the JCPOA, which is colloquially known as the Iran nuclear deal. That's what we're
Is it not nuclear?
nuclear. Okay.
We pulled it off without firing a missile. We got 97% of their enriched uranium out. They were able to maintain a modest civilian nuclear program for energy. And
so you think it was working?
Well, not only did I think it was working, even Israeli intelligence thought it was working. Even our intelligence services thought it was working. So there's no dispute that it worked. And we didn't have to kill a whole bunch of people or shut down the Strait of Hormuz. Now,
well, there was some dispute that it didn't work.
Well,
our present president believed that it didn't work, which is why he pulled out of it.
It's not clear that he didn't believe that it didn't work. He just said it didn't work.
Worst deal of all time.
Yeah, because I did it, which is fine. That seems to be a pattern. But there was no serious independent folks who would say that it didn't work with respect to the nuke.
Loki, show me the proof. You said they developed a nuke program under Obama. Show me the proof of that. Where they were enriching, he just said they had civilian use, right? What was the percentage that they could not enrich past? Do you know, Loki? I bet you don't.
Nuclear program. Now, if your agenda was to bring about regime change in Iran, well, that wasn't the goal of the agreement. If your goal was to dismantle the Iranian military so that it couldn't cause any other
Loki's keeper, Audie?
Problems in the region, then it didn't do that, but that wasn't the goal.
So and you used the wrong use of you're asking me to prove something in a comment section. Absolutely. I'm actually, all I did was ask you what the enrichment allowance was under the JCPOA. That's all I asked you. That's a number. So you should just be able to type that.
You could also call the phone number.
You could also call the phone number on the screen and talk about it. You're still going to have to look it up because you never have. So how would you know that it provided them with a nuclear weapons program when you haven't looked at it? That's interesting. Okay. 42 minutes, or 42. It's 11:42, like 18 minutes left. Ooh, what do I want to get to? What do I have time for?
Did you get the video Manny sent you?
Play some more Nick Shirley.
No!
That takes too long.
Some more Nick Shirley.
No.
Hang on. I have a good giggle.
Spanish.
Lo roco, marroco, barroco. He's just like saying shit like, bro.
Bless you. Hold on. I gotta send you the video that I played this morning. You know, Doug Burgum is not the smartest bulb in the box.
Oh no, I have a section. We might have time for Doug Burgum. Actually, let me see.
Do you have the video?
I probably do. If it's the one I'm thinking, that he doesn't know about the invention of certain things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a couple actually, because he does it. He's done it multiple times. He's done it on the air, and he's done it 2 different times. I have it with Angus King, and I also have it with Huffman. So,
And Loki, you're more caught up over Moni correcting your grammar than the actual question that she was asking that was challenging your statement.
Wait, where's Loki?
in YouTube, which now Loki, unfortunately for you, RibTip, who actually at least did a modicum of research, even though me and RibTip don't tend to agree on most things, RibTip at least has looked up what the percentage is. And so he gave that to you. So now, unfortunately for you. But RibTip
Is my
says
audio
that,
better?
Oh, I see Loki now.
RibTip says that I need to understand that getting to 3.6%, you have done 70% of the work to get to 90. That's the... Are those Cash Patel numbers?
How does Ryan?
What?
How does that math work?
Wait, hold on. No, that hurts.
If you enrich...
Because if you're enriching 30% of the days, then you take 50% less days.
Wait, stop. I'm looking at charts right now. I can't be thinking of
numbers.
GOP. I can't be thinking of GOP math.
So you were wrong, says Loki. Wrong about what? She asked you a question.
I asked you, where was their nuclear weapons program? You can't have a nuclear weapon with 3.6%, Loki. And he just said 95% of their enriched material was taken out of Iran during the JCPOA. Okay. Anyway, let's get to Doug Burgum.
Let's see what I can trigger.
Uh-oh. It's only going to be on TikTok. I don't have it where they can see you on the other ones.
Oh,
unfortunately.
TikTok's gonna take you down. You're showing too much neck.
That is the way TikTok be the...
Not you gonna walk up in a fucking turtleneck now.
Oh, God. Okay, let's see. Hold on a second.
I keep telling y'all, chicken too fine for this app.
So I have an official date. I'm not going to say right now, but I'll put it on Discord.
In Persian, the R is lightly tapped or slightly rolled, similar to Spanish. Okay, so I'm just saying it like the Persians would say it. Cool.
Wait, you can tap letters now?
Lord have mercy.
Wait, what happened?
I'll go back to the carpet.
I was just looking up, because I've looked it up before, the proper pronunciation. And yes, although some of them speak Farsi, the Persian pronunciation, sometimes they lightly tap or slightly roll the R when they say it, similar to Spanish. Am I Persian? No.
The word is.
All right. Doug Burgum, who is the Secretary of the Interior, okay, and he is being asked about a lot of things in regards to our infrastructure, specifically a lot about the reflecting pool. But what we're going to get to first is this shit that he keeps saying, and he's now saying it in front of Angus King, and then I do have Representative Huffman for us as well in regards to solar and wind, because he does the dumb shit y'all do, even though I know he's smarter than y'all, about what happens when the wind turns off and the sun goes away.
A more diverse energy source, particularly one that's based on resources that we control rather than a worldwide price, would be beneficial to the country. Your thoughts?
Well, I think having secure supply chains is essential, but the idea that somehow going down a path of wind and solar makes things more affordable is just not factually true.
Why is that not? Wind and solar are the lowest cost energy sources today by a factor of about 2.
I disagree because we have no ability to dispatch wind and solar, and so if you're going to have wind and solar as part of the mix and the over rotation to those, and then prematurely shutting down base load
Real quick. Sorry, still dealing with Loki. You said breakout time. By mid-2025, Iran's rapid enrichment capability meant they could potentially produce enough fissile material for a bomb in a very short time frame. 1, where are you getting this from? 2, that's not the time frame we were talking about, was it? No, we were talking about the JCPOA, weren't we? From 2015 to 2018. Yes, we were.
Let me see who this Loki is.
So
I'm so sick of y'all talking about what Iran did before or after we were in the JCPOA. Like, what does it matter what they did when we weren't in an agreement with them?
And also, where are you getting this information? Because the only place I can find is IranWatch.org, and what the fuck is that?
What do you
We
care?
were in
What
the
do you?
agreement. They were following it. Like, that's
What do
the long and short.
What do you care what your ex is doing after you broke up with him?
Yeah,
Right.
weird. It's weird behavior. Maybe you should have stayed with them. Maybe you should have gone to therapy and worked it out. Maybe that would have been a good idea. Let's see who.
You got Loki over there. You got Kumbo over here. Still mad about you rolling R's.
Let's see. So, IranWatch.org is funded by the Wisconsin Project on Nuclear Arms Control, which is funded by Carnegie, Compton, Elasticsearch, Ford Foundation, John Merck, Malcolm Hewitt, Prospect Hill, Rockefeller Brothers, Rockefeller Family, Rockefeller Foundation, University of Wisconsin, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, U.S. Department of Defense, U.S. Department of State. Where's the intelligence briefing, though, that says that? You have that for me?
Can I be petty for Ari real quick?
I suppose.
Hey, Tomba, you said you weren't following. This is a screenshot from Ari. You're still following Ari after you told her, I don't follow you.
Anyway, okay. Back to Doug Burgum trying to deny the fact that we know that green energy is actually going to be more beneficial.
Yep,
Nobody's saying prematurely.
Every state that has a renewable target has electricity prices about 50% higher than
Nobody
other
is
states.
saying shut down baseload prematurely. Your state is 35% wind, and this year almost 300 megawatts of battery storage is being installed in your state of North Dakota, which has the effect of mitigating the intermittency issue with wind and solar. That's happening all over the country. The expansion of battery capacity in the last 18 months has been absolutely fantastic. And so this idea that wind and solar aren't baseload, they are baseload if there's sufficient storage, and the storage is definitely coming even in North Dakota. And I don't understand why you continually say wind and solar aren't reliable, et cetera, they're aren't baseload. When your own state, you're the 6th highest wind source state in the nation, and it's saving you from the currently exorbitant cost of fossil fuels.
In North Dakota, we expanded.
The pause is crazy. So remember, he was the governor of North Dakota. And he greenlit these projects. But now it's not good for all people. It was good for North Dakota, but now it's not good for the other ones.
Base load as opposed to shrinking base load at the same time that we're adding renewables. But understand, there are times in North Dakota when the wind does not blow. Of course. And the sun doesn't shine. In those
That's when
moments,
batteries and storage come in.
The battery numbers.
That's what batteries are for.
Richard on YouTube seems triggered. I don't know. Notice how the male panelist sounds fruity as fuck.
Oh, only incidentally.
Incidentally, yeah.
Richard, God, get it right. We took the test incidentally sometimes.
Yeah, I don't have any idea how much I simp for the woman above me.
Yep, literally.
You're talking about in terms of the megawatts relative to the the massive amount of energy we have. The battery storage worldwide, even though it could be doubling, but right now it's less than an hour's worth of storage worldwide. I mean, like an hour's worth of power on all the batteries in the world added up.
Well, I'm not talking about worldwide. I'm talking about the United States and the vast expansion of battery capacity. In California, they are finding that the duck curve is being leveled out because they have excess capacity during the day. They put it in storage, and when at nighttime comes or the wind doesn't blow, the storage operates. It's a very cost-effective solution that is expanding dramatically. So I understand.
But he does it again because he can't help himself. He thinks it's going to work to keep talking shit on the fact that fucking batteries exist. So now we get to Burgum with Huffman.
Wait, Keeper asked, where does the IAEA get their data from? Inspections.
They're
like they literally were on the ground.
They're the primary
inspecting
source.
the facilities. Jesus.
Oh, Richard, you have some feelings.
Oh
you need
my
to work
God, Richard.
out. Guys, can we get these finger hearts accomplished, please? I don't see why we haven't been able to get those done. I don't have that many, so I don't know what we're doing. But
Richard got some things to work out.
Mm-hmm. But Blue, incidentally, so
I was like, wait, that sounds familiar.
I thought Chicky did an IRL. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
It's Chicky. All right, Huffman.
This one has teeth.
Burgum.
The Lazard analysis that suggests that this is the cheapest form of energy, all of these projects are describing in Nevada have one thing in common. When the sun goes down, they produce zero electricity. And this nation over-rotated towards intermittent forms of energy. And the idea that we could add intermittent and shut down baseload is what put our grid at deep risk. And the idea that it's the cheapest, if you want to add intermittent, you have to keep everything else. And so we have to have a discussion about the total cost of grid, not the cost of the incremental, because it's true on an incremental basis. You may have an incremental source, but it doesn't work. The whole machine doesn't work when the sun goes down. And there's examples from around the world of this happening. And so it's cherry picking an analysis that doesn't look. We're looking at reliable, affordable, and secure. And I would encourage everybody.
And that's not fossil fuel. I can promise you it's not.
Here to get in a skiff and
why is he pronounced Lazard?
That most of these components, very few of these components for the solar industry are coming from the U.S. They're coming from China, and just like we had with Huawei equipment, there's modifications on those that would allow foreign governments to interfere with our grid. And I just want to have a rational discussion with everybody.
It's not that. So Bernie Moreno is the representative, the Republican representative. We've talked about him before because he was the one who proposed a bill that didn't go anywhere. But the bill that says that if you hold dual citizenship with the United States and another country, he wants you to relinquish one. And so you either relinquish your other one and become a U.S. citizen totally, or you relinquish your U.S. citizenship and then you're up for deportation, is now proposing a new bill. And that is, not only do Joe Biden put a 100% tariff on Chinese EVs, I was going to say EV vehicles, didn't do it, it's EV vehicles, on Chinese EVs, Bernie Moreno now wants to propose a bill that would block and ban Chinese vehicles, Chinese parts for vehicles. Why? Because they're going to surveil us, I guess, with that. And we don't want to subject ourselves to that. When in reality, could it be the fact that China is doing it better? Now, here's the thing. Don't start yelling, move to China. I don't want to move to China. What I understand is that I can critique my country and want it to be better and say, hey, China's doing something very, very well. Why don't we also do that? They can keep the rest of the stuff that they do that we don't like. But we could do that, right? Oh, no, because we have to do the fossil fuel industry. It's the only thing that works, as RTP put it yesterday, or somebody in RTP's chat put it yesterday. If your car no go vroom vroom, are you really American? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
This is not an ideological thing. It's about reliable, affordable, and secure. Those three things.
I'm all for rational conversation about it. I'll just say we are not shutting down baseload energy to build solar. And I will contend we have battery storage as well. So
we're going to move on to the next question. The
Mr.
chair
Chairman,
now
I request unanimous consent to enter into the record this amazing new technology that apparently the Secretary is unaware of. It's a battery. China's figured it out. That's why they're cleaning our clock on clean energy, but I want to enter that into the record.
As soon as Manny was just doom scrolling on TikTok, and that was the only thing that was the last video I heard from him. And he's like, I'm just gonna put this into the record that a battery exists. I'm like, oh my fucking God.
Hi, Oya.
Hi.
What's your news?
So, why did you shut off our internet last night?
She told you.
Dude,
why.
I
She
don't work
warned
for
us.
that. I don't work for that part of the army.
I don't either.
That's like that super secret squirrel type shit. Like, look.
It was like right after you threatened us that our internet went out, and I was like, you can't tell me it wasn't Oya.
I mean, it's mostly because you live in Colorado. I mean,
It's because we're in developing area of Colorado, so they think late night means it's time to turn it off while they do construction.
We have a lot of solar, so when the wind goes,
It's because the sun went away.
the sun went down, the internet turned off.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It
You're
said
right.
time out.
Lord.
What's your news?
Okay, so you know how we're doing this whole thing with Iran, right?
Good Lord,
Very, it's unconsensual for me. I didn't agree to this.
Right.
So now they're saying, hey, we're going to redo the standards for soldiers. You need to qualify on your weapon every month.
We want money.
Thank you.
What time?
Thank you.
My unit is 21 soldiers. Who's gonna organize that every month?
Thank you.
What else? Who? Transportation, maintenance.
Oh, and also they're changing our PT uniform.
What the fuck?
Are
we going back to the gray?
No, it's a brown coat.
Brown.
Shut up. You're so
Shut the fuck up, Seymour. This is why your internet got cut off.
Can't
Not me believing.
Loki. So you're concerned about a deal that we got out of 2018, and FYI, they haven't been able to get in to inspect since last year, just so you understand how they would have nukes. Except the problem, Loki, is that even though the IAEA couldn't come in, our U.S. intelligence still exists, and our U.S. intelligence didn't say that they were close to a nuke.
But also, why do we care what they're doing in a deal?
Why are you gonna
God, is that you?
Hello?
Come back,
Morgan
Blue.
Freeman deacon has
Don't
ascended.
walk towards the light.
The deacon has ascended.
Is the rapture happening? Is it happening?
Damn it, Chicky. I told you to stop fucking stringing him along.
Is that you went to cemetery school now?
Oh my God.
That like
God said.
Hello, is that better?
Yeah, so much better.
Yes, very much.
I don't know. I didn't change anything.
You were in a pipe.
But why? But if why do we care what they did in a deal that we're not, or did when there's no deal to stop them from doing what they were doing?
He could
Like, why do we care if we're not part of the
deal? Yeah, like.
Dan, you could cancel me for the remaining 50 in her goal tomorrow. I will go away for a week.
No, you won't.
Why do you lie to us?
Yeah, I will. You could block me. You could unmod me and block me.
Why would you lie to us like that?
Why would you get my hopes up?
Okay, I do, since Loki's struggling.
I love all the messages that got muted.
I just want to show a funny. I thought it was funny. I talked about it yesterday. So the king, obviously, if we remember, the king was here. He made a visit here, where the king, a monarch, literally had to remind us about the balance of powers, which was really fun. Love that for us. But then he went back home and having some sort of celebration, and Rod Stewart, the musician, was there, and it was just funny. It's just funny. Okay, let's see if I can get this to work.
May I say well done in the Americans? You were superb. Absolutely superb. Put that little white bag in his place.
That little white what?
You put that little rat bag in his place, and the king laughs.
Oh.
That shit, just the fact that the king laughed at it, right? Like, he should probably have been like...
His rich man laugh was great.
He did have a rich man.
It's almost time for me to go back.
That's like if a mall Santa hated his job. That's what that laugh was.
Loki
I
asked
don't even like
us.
Charles.
Loki asked, "Why would you want Iran to have a deal?" We don't. That's why the deal that was in place, the JCPOA. He just asked, "What's in the deal?" I'm done.
He didn't read it.
Never mind.
I told you he
Never mind.
didn't
They
read
don't.
it.
They don't read them.
Loki, 1 + 1 = 2, and Iran is a sovereign country.
I mean,
Loki, if you haven't read the deal, then why are you arguing about the deal?
he could pull a confetti and just pull it up with him and just stim spill.
The deal was literally in place. The only purpose of the deal was to prevent them from having nuclear weapons. Why did Trump pull us out of it? Why does Trump want Iran to have nuclear weapons?
Loki's white.
If he pulled us out of a deal, if he pulled us out of a deal that prevents Iran from having nuclear weapons, that tells me that he wants Iran to have nuclear weapons.
Wait. Oh, no.
Literally.
No, wait. Bring it back. Where'd it go? Damn it, Justin. Wait.
You can.
I can't.
Loki's
I know.
white, huh?
He said,
I gotta find it now. Once again, you don't have the full information and are acting like you understand the whole situation. You didn't even read the JCPOA.
Loki's white, huh?
It gotta be.
This has the ignorant white man like confidence behind these like fucking
look,
comments.
There's somebody who says they're Persian and they say they're Iranian and that you love Trump. Do you roll your
Iranian
R's? Do you roll your R's when you say it? It's a scientific question.
It's a scientific question.
Is there a roll
I
on your
muted
R?
Homeboy over here.
he said we love Trump.
That's great. You
I
love Trump.
muted
I'm glad.
Tumba when he asked how you said
Come get him.
Mexico because you're just
Tumba?
virtue signaling.
Was it Tomba or something like that? We're just changing the name.
Tomba.
Tumba.
It's just Pumbaa with the T.
Trump, I'm sure I'll see you as a new fan.
Sorry.
Come on, Persian. I'm asking a scientific question. Oh, you didn't have to mute him for that. I don't give a fuck.
I just work here.
It's in the link tree. It's not like I'm hiding it.
Also, highlight Daddy Justin said, you know what? We're done. Enjoy the next 10 minutes of silence, y'all.
Justin said, I'm
Excuse
done.
me.
You started it, I'ma fucking finish it.
Carlos, I did not see that. The only thing that I've seen that I have videos on that I hope we can get to next week is that Donald Trump glazed him. He said, "You're a great leader, and I'm so glad that we're friends."
Oh, are you talking about his interaction with China?
Yeah, with President Xi, which also, by the way, the Team Trump account on TikTok had posted a video of them walking together and said President Trump and President Xi, but they spelled it Z-I, and so they had to delete it because that's not how you spell his fucking name.
That's funny.
Xi Peng.
He was basically boasting about how he's a great man and he's a wonderful leader, and then he talked about the children that were outside while they were walking in the parade.
Yeah, that was weird. And then
Very
he
weird.
wouldn't
Why do
answer
you-
questions on Taiwan. Although, to be fair, I don't know that I'd expect him to.
Why do you say his name like that? We're in America. It's XI.
No, that's one of Elon's kids. Stop.
I was gonna say, last time I checked, my name's not Elon.
Yeah, it's one of Elon's kids. What are we talking about?
Because I would never name my child a fucking variable.
Do I have to take my computer with me? I don't want to.
Mia!
She went live on Tube. I don't know if she went live on TikTok.
Okay. I was looking for the redirect and it said upcoming, but it didn't say it was there, which I can still do for the upcoming. Nope, that's not the right one though. Yeah, see, that's why I didn't do that one. Why are you?
G-Funk G. Nigga, God bless you. I like how Blue,
There
you
it
know
is.
what? I like how Blue got that.
Blue's the only one allowed to get that.
I know.
No, all of y'all are allowed to get it.
Oh yeah, no,
No.
we're not allowed to laugh. So I sat my
Yeah,
ass on the
Rhea.
carpet and shut the fuck up.
Did you miss Hector being
played it in his
Oya?
lap.
What?
Did I do Hector what?
No, I asked Oya if she missed Hector being messy.
Huh? Well, coconut oil is usually messy, so.
Never
What's
mind.
happening?
Oh no.
Hi, Lynette.
Hector asked the guest if or why they were afraid of an egg and two niggas, and the guest said egg and two nuggets. So yeah, we're an egg and two nuggets.
You know, I've always loved barbecue sauce.
That's crazy.
YouTube and Twitch, bye. I'll see y'all
Barbecue
later.
sauce.
I'm not on tomorrow, guys. Remember, I'm not on tomorrow, but that doesn't mean you can't go to Mia. It doesn't mean you can't go to Blue. So please go support me and Blue tomorrow, who are taking up those time slots while I am gone on Friday. So I appreciate you. I appreciate all the love, and I will see you guys Monday for midterm. Oh, no. Yeah. Yes. Is her appointment later? No. We might not have Monday. I think my daughter has her appointment Monday. So